can you forgive me? I had a 4-hour talk with R. Kelly. Now listen, no. He came to our home with 6 of his friends. And I told him, R, I have had a message in my heart for you for over 20 years. And I'm so glad for the opportunity to share it with you. He was managed by a friend of mine. What's that brother? Barry Hankerson. And Barry told me I'm going to get rid of him. I said, Barry, be patient. I said, that boy is deeply spiritual. A man can't write no songs like that and not have God all up in him, but he's got to be cleansed. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of you in here have done something wrong, but you are not evil people. Somebody got to reach into you and bring out the God that's in you and clear you of your evil. That's why we recorded this song, He Looked Beyond My Faults and He Saw My Need. Brothers and sisters, we'll never find the love and the unity and the peace that we deserve unless we're able to look past someone's faults to see what they need and address that need. Now, Jesus was that kind of man. That's why we love him so much. Because the scripture said he came to save his people from their sins. You remember reading that? Elijah Muhammad added something to it. He came to save us from the sins of white people that have been imposed on us since we have been under their rule. We didn't have homosexuality in Africa. That's not our tradition. Now, to my homosexual brothers and sisters that are in the audience, I want you to know from your brother that I love you, and we are not here to judge you. And the God that I represent didn't come to North America ignorant of what white folk had imposed on us to judge us and destroy us for our sinful behavior. You a liar? Yes. Well, you were taught by a master liar. You a fornicator? You a pimp? You see what they've done to us as a people? You didn't start pimping. They were pimping. They were hustling our women. They're the masters of the sex trafficking trade. So if you're in it, they're the master of what you're in. You're a gambler. You're a hustler. The biggest hustler is your teacher. So God has come to Detroit, to Black Bottom, Detroit, right along in here on Hastings Street, where black folk came after the big flood in 1927 in Mississippi. A whole lot of black folk came up from Mississippi, from Alabama, from Arkansas, from other parts of the South. And Mr. Ford, I don't know if he's any relation to Professor Ford, but Mr. Ford was having a problem with his Jewish neighbors. Maybe you do know that Black Bottom was once the playground of the Purple Gang. And the Purple Gang were Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe who became the thugs, the gamblers, the hustlers, the dope dispensers, the drug enforcers and murderers. That's who Black Bottom, Detroit, that's who lived there. But when we came up from Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, and Georgia, they didn't have no place for us in Detroit. The only place we had was Black Bottom and Paradise Valley. So we came in, well, now we're in there with the Jewish gangs in Black Bottom. So there was clashes between the blacks and the members of the Jewish community, the Gentiles that Mr. Ford represented. That man knew he needed cheap labor. Like the big business people today know, they need cheap labor. So they bring the Mexicans in and work them for hardly nothing. They're not taking your jobs. You don't want to pick no grapes. No, I gotta tell the truth. Let me tell you, when you came up from Mississippi, you didn't want to see a farm again. Don't talk about, you had a band in Black Bottom called the Cotton Pickers. I said, damn, when I read that, I said, boy,